Break the breakup loop. Why you're stuck and how to get out. Hi, I'm Coach Abby. Thank you once again for joining me on Love Advice TV. Love Advice TV is a channel created uniquely for you to help you navigate through any relationship challenges with emotional intelligence, with strategy, and with internal strength. So now let's get right into it because today's topic is serious. If you've ever said to yourself, why do we keep breaking up and talking again, then break up again? And why do I keep hoping they'll come back and I spiral once again and then they don't and whatever and it goes back and forth and I feel stuck, confused, exhausted. Then you're likely caught in what I call the breakup loop. And if you don't interrupt it intentionally, it will drain you emotionally. It will not only waste your time, but worst of all, it prevents healing and destroys your attraction energy. So today I'm going to help you identify the hidden reasons you're stuck. I want you to understand the emotional cycle you find yourself trapped in, to reclaim control of the dynamic of the relationship, and most importantly, to break the loop for good. But first of all, let's define what the breakup loop is. Now, the breakup loop is a repetitive emotional cycle you fall into. You fall into it the post breakup, and what it does is it keeps you energetically entangled with your ex. So here's how it works. The breakup happens, there's pain, panic, confusion. There's an initial detachment. You try to stay strong, and then hope sparks. They text. They like your story. They respond warmly. You reattract each other once again, texting again, maybe meeting, maybe even sleeping together. And then all of a sudden, it collapses again. Nothing changes, pain returns, but this time even stronger. And the cycle repeats again with every new breakup. Does this sound familiar to you? The illusion is always, maybe this time it'll be different. But here's the reality. Unless you change how you show up, and unless they're actively doing the emotional work to meet you halfway, the cycle will repeat itself. And every loop leaves you a little bit more depleted, a little more unsure of yourself, a little more addicted to possibility rather than reality. Now, how many times have you asked yourself why you stay stuck in the loop? This isn't just about love. Trust me, it's about psychological attachment and identity. When you're stuck in the loop, it's usually because you've linked your worth to their return, to them. You fear the finality of truly letting go. You confuse familiarity with connection. And most of all, you're living in what I call the emotional waiting room, hoping that time alone will bring them back without you needing to grow, change, or decide. Let me be honest. Waiting is not a strategy. Hope is not a plan. Silence without self-evolution is just emotional stagnation. Now, if that stings, it's supposed to. Because breaking the loop requires truth first, then change. Now, to make this video a tinge more interesting, I have created the loop quiz. So ask yourself these quick questions. Do I check their social media more than once a day? Do I respond instantly when they text? Do I keep telling myself they just need more time? Have we gotten back in contact, but nothing really has changed? Do I feel high when they come close and crushed when they pull away? If you said yes to any of these, you are in the breakup loop. But the good news is you can get out. And to help you get clarity on what phase you're in and how best to move forward, I invite you to take the complimentary questionnaire linked below. It's your diagnostic tool to assess your emotional blind spots. And we all have emotional blind spots. But with it, you can create a next step plan that works. Now, let's look at the science behind the why the loop feels so powerful, because it's almost addicting. We keep going back. It's a cycle. When your ex reaches out, even casually, your brain releases dopamine. It feels euphoric. You get a chemical reward. Yes, there is this emotional chemistry component of the loop, but it's not because it's love. It's because it's sort of like a relief from anxiety. And this is the same pattern seen in intermittent reinforcement, the same mechanism used in gambling addiction. Sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't. And that maybe keeps you hooked. But love isn't found in maybes. Love lives in certainty, in consistency, and safety. If you're in a loop with someone emotionally unavailable, you're not in love with them. You're addicted to the version of yourself who felt chosen, even briefly, but still chosen. That's not love. That's survival mode affection. And you deserve more. So, how do we break away from being in the loop? You know, I, I, I look at it as accept the finality of the last breakup. That's the first step. Just accept that finality of that last breakup. Stop telling yourself it wasn't really the end. Treat it as if it was, as if it is. Give it the seriousness because you're not playing games anymore. Because only by emotionally detaching can you create space for true transformation and, most importantly, for true reconnection. The second step is to cut reactive contact. What does that mean? Stop reaching out just because you miss them. So you're home and all of a sudden you say, well, I really miss, I'm going to just reach out just because I miss them. No, stop responding right away just because you miss them or just because they text. You've got to stop fueling the loop with instant emotional availability. Once again, we need to stop fueling the loop with instant emotional availability because attraction isn't born from convenience. It's born from emotional self containment. And the third step is you've got to shift the story. Your inner dialogue matters. Stop repeating, they're my soulmate, Abby. No one gets me like they do. You need to start affirming, no, I'm becoming the version of me they don't recognize anymore, and in the best way. So when they check in, they will meet a new me. And why do I feel so strongly that they will check in? Because they too are part of the loop. Remember, they get used to that coming back, that circling once again. So rebuild your identity without them. Now, this one too is super important. You need to pause and ask yourself, who are you when they're not in your mind? What lights you up? Think about it. What have you delayed, abandoned, or shrunk because of this dynamic? What future have you stopped building while you're in the waiting room? The loop ends when your life becomes too vibrant to return to a pattern that dims you. Now, I know some loops are layered. Yes, you have kids, you have mutual friends, you have lingering emotional depths, or financial depths for that matter. So that's why breaking the loop is not just emotional, it's strategic. If you're not sure how to cut contact, communicate your needs, or reset the dynamic for good, I strongly suggest you consider booking a one-on-one session with me Together, we'll map out your emotional cycle. We'll identify the entry points and build a clear, powerful plan to break the loop from the inside out without losing yourself in the process. You may be asking, Abby, so I break the loop, and now what? What awaits on the other side? So here's what happens when you truly break the breakup loop. The most amazing part is you stop waking up anxious. You're no longer in your mind. You stop scanning your phone for their name, for their texts, for any type of evidence of that they're alive. You stop settling for scraps of affections from them. Anything, so many times that hey, you get a text and you immediately respond. No, you don't respond to things like that. And you start showing up for you first. Because the important thing is you need to radiate peace, a type of peace that cannot be faked. And that's the only way of doing that is by maintaining ourselves centered. And ironically, that's when the dynamic often shifts because they don't remember the people who chased them anymore. They remember the people who changed. And they're saying to themselves, oh my gosh, she's off the wagon. He's no longer entertaining my ups and downs. It's very powerful. I want you to know that I fully understand how difficult it is to feel stuck in any loop. But here's the truth. You can't attract a new outcome with old behaviors. You just can't. You can't create peace while you're still looping in pain. So be that interruption. Be the break in the pattern. Be the version of yourself who says, this ends with me. Take your energy back. Take your story back. Take your life forward. Once again, it's so important. I feel that we've got all these tools available for all of us. I mean, coaches need coaches. Therapists go to therapy. There's so much tools out there, and sometimes we don't take advantage of them. Don't forget to take the complimentary questionnaire linked below. Let's start with that. It's your first step toward clarity, emotional sovereignty, and hopefully new beginnings. So, I hope that you've realized the importance of getting off that loop. I hope that I've been able to demonstrate to you that it's a pattern way too familiar. Many of us do this, and we almost even fool ourselves into thinking it's because we love each other so much. It's because we're soulmates. We can't get rid of each other. No, it's toxic and it's inappropriate behavior, and it steals your peace. And you can't grow together from a place of chaos. So it's important to really try to remove yourself from that breakup loop. If you found this video powerful, share it with someone who needs to hear it. There's so many people that are in this breakup loop. If you found this video powerful, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Also, please like and subscribe for more videos on emotional freedom, healthy reconnection, and everything in between. Until next time, I'm Coach Abby.